Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and we are starting off a new quarter, new year, new month, new week, everything. So if we go to the SPY to start off, you're going to notice this large broadening formation here on the 60. We go up, we hit the line, we came back, made the lower low, then on Friday made the higher high. So this is our opening broadening formation of the year, closer to going in back into new highs, but we'll see. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Can you get outside of this, and then can you stay there? Because if you got this bad tick in here, but if you go to the monthly, we're nowhere near right now taking out the monthly low. So if we're going to sell off, that would have to occur. Any major sell-off would have to take this low out, right, and do a 2-2 reversal, which you're not near doing. If you go to the weekly, tight range, and this is a bad tick, so it's not inside, but a tight range, so we could easily take out either side of that to start off the year. So we'll keep an eye on that. Either side of that gets my attention, and watching that broadening formation, do we come back into it? If you go to the daily, you're going to see this here, and that's what your 60 looks like on a daily, right? So you got that outside day here. So the question is, do we come back through the trashy goes or expand out to the upside? If we go to QQQ, and QQQ would be RevStrat day to start off up into here. So here, on the weekly, if this is going to start to turn around, we had an inside week, and then we popped up inside and up. So the question is, can we RevStrat and come back through that, or are we going to continue higher? So we'll just have to see how that goes, because once again, on your monthly, here, nowhere near taking out this low, right? So that would have to occur if we're going to really going to sell off like we did last year. In here, bam, right? So what'll happen here is that something as far as continuity, we don't uncouple until a week from Tuesday in the first hour. So on Monday, all continuity levels start over again. All right, so from the yearly down to the 60. Then as the day goes on, the 60 will uncouple from the rest of them. And then on Tuesday, the weekly and the daily uncouple, because on Mondays, the weekly and the daily opening are the same. So all that kind of stuff, we gain more information as we go on. Also, the market's always going to trade in the direction of the highest concentrations of twos and failed twos going threes. So when we start off a new year and a new quarter and a new month, we don't have any, all right? And so we're going to assess that, how many things are taking out last month's highs, last month's lows, weeklies, highs and lows, dailies, highs and lows. And as time goes on, those numbers will grow, and then we'll have a real good idea what's going on. If we go to Apple, and Apple did its job, inside bar, pokes down, RevStrat, boom, goes into the highs, and then just hit some exhaustion risk. And what I mean by that is when you come back to a previous range, there's going to be people you can stop out. But once you go into the highs, the buyer's got to step up. So that's not what happened. Apple goes into new highs and backs off. So the question here is, can you get out of this? A slight higher high. Otherwise, you can come back all the way through and make the broadening formation as we would know it right now. It would look like something like this, right? But so far, so it's closer to a 2 down to start off. So we'll see how that goes. That was a nice RevStrat right in here. If we go to small caps, and small caps on the week, a little closer to going 2 back down, but nowhere near taking out last month's lows. We had a real couple nice months. But you go into exhaustion risk by going into the highs, so we'll respect that. But nowhere near a major reversal on this either. If we go to TLT stock inside month here, and once again, mother bar here. Because once you have an inside bar, until you can get out of the bar that it was inside of, we get this price discovery going back and forth, and chop it is. So we'll see what happens with that. It is an inside month, however. VXX, potential of the Momo shoot. Tried to scare him, comes back down, right? Boom. Anybody stopped against the lows gets taken out, and we know it's a depreciating asset, so we'll see how that goes. If we go to the diamonds, once again, nowhere near a major reversal. You can see back to the top of the broadening formation here. It was a nice, like so. And so we'll see if we go to the weekly. Weekly, still tight ranges in here. So, I mean, things could change fairly quickly, but, certain things would have to happen. You got to take out last week's lows. They're going to take out last month's lows first, and you're not doing that so far. If you go to Boeing, you can see this broadening formation here on the weekly. Here was your 2-2 reversal. Now you're an inside week to start off. And if we go to the monthly, you're going to see this. Stuck inside this mother bar. You had an inside bar, right? And now all of this is still inside of this. So, once again, the slight higher high Question is, can we take this shooter and go 2-2? You're closer to taking the 2 down here in the Boeing. If you go to triple M, real tight range, inside month, and the good thing for a triple M is you can see it's been a lot higher. A lot of things are going to the highs. You always want to see if you can get some things that are coming back to a previous range. So if we're going to keep going, I'd keep an eye on this inside month for mini mines. Procter & Gamble, hammer counter shooter, right? Potential 2-2, back to the upside, closer to taking out the highs. We can watch out with the XLP. If you go to UNH inside month, Momo hammer, right? And we tried to shorten here, could get trapped. We'll see if that can take that out. If we go to the daily, you'll see this. You're going to see this. Can we take out this slight higher high because you got this slight lower low? And we know that ranges will expand, right? So you got this. Now the question is going to be strong enough to come through here. So we'll watch that with XLV. You can see stop them out. Now going back up. So for XLV right now looks like this. There's your broadening formation in XLV within your inside month. And so that tells us we can look at ANTM. You got an inside month Momo hammer. If you don't want to take that out, you can go to Humana. Humana, hammer counter shooter, 2 up, 2 down. If they want to take this out. If we go to Molina Health, MOH, it's another inside month, so we'll see how those play out. If we go to the transports, tranny's tight range and about middle here, so we're nowhere near taking that out on either side very much either. If you go to the daily, you'll see this. You got this big outside bar, slightly took that down, and now these two are an inside day, right? So compound inside day. So how do we take this or that out? So that's what we're going to be watching for the trannies. We've got a lot of concentration of inside months for the rails, CSX, Union Pac, Norfolk Southern. So we'll see how they handle that. You've got FedEx. Almost an outside month. We'll see if they can finish that one off. And if they do, then it's got to stay down there because then you get your outside, right? And you got your higher high. And still looking to see if we get the lower lows out of this and then how much worse does that get. So we'll see if that occurs. If we go to XLU, tight range up in here, but you can see that 2-2 reversal hammer back up on the weekly to finish off the month. The monthly, between hammer counter shooter, and you got like peg here looking similar, so we'll see if they can take that out. What's the next two? If we go to FAS fighting back here, and we're not near the highs of the month, and it's been a little grindy. Weekly, grind, but going in the right direction. And we'll see what comes of that with XLF here on the month. Still nowhere near a major reversal, coming back into this old 3 here to see if they can keep climbing and climbing. As I said, it's been a little grindy. So it is what it is. So JP Morgan here, and JP Morgan, you can see this monthly still good on greater broadening formation. Like so here. And once again, grindy, but you get your inside day to the upside, 1 bar rough strat, I think. Yep. Takes it down, and so when you see that inside bar and it pokes down and then goes green again, that's going outside. I got news for you. There it is. So if we go to Bank of America, a little stuck here, but still doing the monthly chugga back through the broadening formation. If we go to Key Corp, going on to a little guy, you just got an inside month there, so you can watch that with KRE, the rest of the little guys, see if anything comes of that. PNC. Also trying to come up through this, nowhere near a reversal, and you can see this grind, but it's going in the right direction. So oftentimes people will try and take directional signals going straight into new highs. When you get something grinding, you got to wait for it to come in, like here, right? Goes up, comes back in, here, and then starts going. Here, let it back off and then start going. Because if you start going straight into some highs, you're just going to get stopped out. So we'll see oftentimes when you get a grind like this, then they start to accelerate. This is the slow accumulation, and then they can get more aggressive. Maybe, we'll see. But that often does occur. We had Visa and MasterCard get their rev strats on the week here. 1, 2, 2, and MA. And so those played out, but we'll see because we've got Capital One, once again, doing the grind here, but back into all this stuff. If we pull this out, you'll see this. The higher highs, the lower lows. Come on, draw, boy. Like that. Now, it's just taking a beat on going towards the top of the try, so we'll see how it goes with DFS. Here, it's got some more room to take out all this stuff up into here. After the 2-1-2 down in here, and the continuation here. The 2 up, oops, the 2 up, the 2 down, and then boom, off she goes. So just a little bit more to take these guys out. If we go to crude, energy's a little tough to see. Need a better proxy here. But you can see this 2-week inside pattern to start off the new year. If we go to XLE, and these guys really not doing much. If you go to the monthly, closer to going 2 down off that shooter. XOP, a little bit better in the middle, and OIH, about the same, a little bit better. So we got to take out either sides of those before we really want to do anything. You got Exxon here, just stuck, middle of that, nowhere near taking that out. Chevron, a little better inside month, potentially to the downside. That would get my attention because you've got Conoco inside, you got Concho inside month, so we want to see which side of those get taken out. If you go to Slob here, a little bit closer to taking out the downside, but not a lot of range in these things, so that's why you want to be careful here. Halliburton, just a slightly tad better, but not much going on there. If you go to XRT Retail, we've known about this. Completes the broadening formation again. Boom. Range. 2-1-2, boom, 2-1-2, and now just exhaustion risk by going into the highs. So not too much to see here. If we go to the big boys, Costco here, slightly takes this out. So potential 2-2-2 back into the highs here after last week doing this. Here, the old broadening formation high, and then boom, 2-2 reversal back up. So we'll see you're back into this old outside bar, and so we'll see what comes of that to start the new year. Target. And target, it's a little Momo hammer here to try and go take these out. Back through the range after this here, the 2-2 reversal on the week, and then back through here. So we'll see, not too exciting, but we'll see here because you got this outside bar, then the 3-2-2 reversal. Looking to take this out at least here, 177.76. If we go to Walmart, Walmart sets up the RevStrat day here to start off, and the monthly here is closer to taking the 2 to the downside, so we'll see what comes of that because we're going to start off neutral land inside weaker for Walmart. If we go to RH, and RH was nice monthly here, the old 2-1-2, and then bam, and then the 2-1-2 continuation. So middle of this range here, so we'll see. It's just going to start off like this. Daily, inside day. So do we go up and try and come back through this, or do we come back down through this range? And on the weekly, trying to expand this outside week and come back through this stuff, because we're stuck. These 3 weeks are stuck in here, right? So we can expect the back and forth. So if we take this out, we'll look to try and take at least this thing out here, and maybe even worse, but inside day to start off. If you go to Williams-Sonoma, and Williams-Sonoma, nice little inside day to the downside, and that's just going to start off here as an exhaustion risk by going to the highs. Now an inside month and closer to taking that out to the downside. So one of those things that you look for here when you get that inside week to the downside is this. Take out the low, take out the high. This is a 2-2-2 continuation here, right? And so these two then become, my cursor, these two then become an outside bar of that. Now that you're into the lower low, it's got to keep going, otherwise you can come right back up, broadening formation style, but we'll see, closer to taking out that monthly low. Go to IBB, not too much over here, and IBB, monthly, middle, nowhere near taking out either side of that. So if you go to Labu, nowhere near taking out either side of that. So you really want to be aware of that. And when you go out to these recent highs, was nice, then you get the exhaustion risk. There was your 2-2 reversal back. The problem with that is now you're in the middle of the range. How are you going to take that out? Nowhere near doing that, so not too much to see here. Abbott Labs, the drug's been doing not a whole bunch of much, but on the weekly, but on the monthly here. Now you set up the hammer counter shooter if they want to take this baby up 2-2-2 style over 109.67. You're close to that. PTCT. Not too exciting, but closer to taking out the month here, so we'll let these things open. If we go to XLK nowhere near taking out last month's lows. However, on the weekly, get this real tight range. So either side of that gets my attention, and you go to SMH here, trying to hammer back up through after the rev strat. 1, 2, 2. These three all stuck in here, so a little tight ranger over in there too. But the good news on the really hitting them front, nowhere near taking out last month's lows, and that's what you want to know about. So if we go to Facebook, a lot of these big boys been doing a whole bunch of nothing inside quarter stuff, and we'll get to that when we get to the macro video. But here you go, inside month for Facebook, inside 3 months, so not much to see here. Amazon the same here, inside month, inside 3 months inside of here. If we go to Netflix was a little better because you had your 2-2 reversal on the month, and you are closer to taking out that monthly high. But these 3 months also inside of these 3 months, so you got another inside quarter for Netflix. If we go to Google, nowhere near taking out last month's highs or lows, right? That's a problem. So oftentimes you get the chop shop in there, and then you get the inside month, and then we'll talk. If you go to NVIDIA, also doing nothing. And you can see these 3 months inside of here, that's an inside quarter. And at this point, you're almost closer to taking out this monthly low, but that would have to happen. Akamai would be rev strat here to the downside. 2-bar pattern, both inside of this, but we'll see it's dead middle of the month as well there. Not much to see until that breaks. AMD, closer to coming back if we can get back to this previous range, and this was an outside month. That would be a 322. If you can bring this, if it's time to bring it in, it's going to start off as an inside day, so we'll see. If we go to EA still's got some job to do to take this and that out after the 2-2 reversal month back through previous range, because you had his buddies TTWO here going into the highs in ATVI, looking very similar on that 2-2, and took care of business. So we'll see if EA joins the party on that. If we go to Microchip in the semis, and Shooter potentially on the downside, but also on the weekly here, that's a 2 down, so a potential hammer back through all this stuff if the semis start going. If we go to Snow, that was a nice shooter counters hammer, 2 down, 2 up weak to take these guys out. These 2 are now an outside bar of that, and what that sets up is you're closer to taking out the monthly lows and coming back through this range here in Snow. If you go to TTD, also closer to 2-2 reversal on the month, and that was real nice on the, you hear us talk about pivot machine gun. Here it is, off the exhaustion risk. New high, then 2-2 reversal back through all this. People can be stopped against this. Take them out. So we'll see if it gets any worse. Xilinx in the semis. Monthly, also closer taking out the monthly lows. So we'll see if that can happen. If we go to Yelpster coming out of the ashes here. Inside Momo Hammer. And so it's been higher in the past, so we'll see if we can take that out. That was a nice 2-2 reversal on the week to set that up. Wait for them to triangle them out, which they will. Lower low. And then wait for your reversal. There's your 2 down, your 2 up, and boom, back to the previous range. Real nice. Even had an inside day to get it to boot. If we go just a few more, ACMR. An ACMR inside day, and this is the old Randy Jackson pattern. Potential here. Rev strat the rev strat. Here was your inside. Here was your triangle layout by going to slight higher highs, and then 1, 2, 2, but it didn't stay down, and it came back. So now it's potential hammer back up, and that was set up by this. The inside day back through previous range broadening formation. So we'll see if that follows through. If we go to Beyond the Meats, inside month. Closer to taking out the downside, so we'll see what comes there. If we go to CCI here, and a little tight, but you can see this weekly. Like so. Like that, so we can see if this starts racing back through. Start off the new month, year, quarter, and that tells us to keep an eye on S-back power here with it, and and Mercantile. So we can watch all those as a subgroup together. If we go to CVAC, dumping in a little bit here, and on the monthly, closer to 2-2 reversal shooter here. If we can take this out below 79.10. If we go to DraftKings, and DraftKings potential rev strat month, or inside month, then 1-2, and closer to taking this back out to the downside. And once again, that was set up by this. The inside week to the downside, the exhaustion by going into the high, the inside 2-1-2 reversal coming back through, and you'll notice here this broadening formation here, which will look like this on the daily here. Let's see if we can complete this. Like so, and then if it gets worse, and once again, here's your 2-2-2 continuation. 2 down, 2 up, bam. These two become an outside bar of this. Now we'll see if that continues. If we go to EQIX, EQIX monthly here, closer to hammer back up, 2-2 back up through this stuff. We'll see if they can get that going. If you go to JD, just an inside month Momo hammer. We can watch that with Shiner. And JKS. How are you going to get outside of this month is the issue, right? So the good thing is that it's still in a big range. You can see the slight higher high and the slight lower low. There's your broadening formation within the price discovery within the mother bar, right? So the good part about that is if you set it up here, there you can see your highs, higher highs, lower lows, broadening formation, 2-2 reversal on the week. We'll see if that'd be nice. Still a nice move and come back down all the way through this. Of course, you can watch your Sun Powers, your CSIQs, and all that kind of stuff, FSLRs. Tyson Chickens here, monthly, takes out one side of the range and now potential shooter. If they can take that out, see the mother bar here? All these guys are stuck in here. Then maybe we get some price discovery back down through. You can watch that with SAFM and PPC. And Tesla's just blasting into the highs, and so Tesla's sticking it to them. But tight range on the day for it. So either side of that after the weekly here takes the inside week to the upside. So if Tesla's going to come in, it would rev strat here below 655, and you're nowhere near doing that. So we've got everything starting over again. So what we're going to be doing is counting those concentrations of twos on the monthly, weekly, and daily and 60, and certainly waiting to see what side of these quarters can get broken. So might be a while. We've got the Georgia runoff, the Electoral College, and what the news coming out this week. So we'll see if we slow it down or what they want to do, but always want to be aware of that too. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith & Black channel here at Ticker Tacker, wishing you a Happy New Year.